When you leave school, you leave your classmates, you leave the environment where you get feedback, where you get lots of input, where you get the opportunity to bounce your ideas around. And especially in a niche like textiles, it's very hard to find that. The Advanced Textile program is a program we've created to open up all the resources we have with the Textile Museum and TextileLab for young makers at the beginning of their career. And with this program, we create an international group of people who are connected to each other and can learn from each other and keep growing together. This is all like our collection of yarns, so it's quite nice to walk through and see what we have. There's a lot.
It's a program that brings in people from different perspectives. You're able to meet with someone from Colombia, then you meet with someone from Peru, someone from the Netherlands, and each one are coming with ideas that are informed from the places they work, from the cultures that they are engaged with. And with that, when they come here, it becomes a real melting pot of ideas. It becomes a place where you can really try out things, you can really experiment. And the ATP offers that. We really look at forming a group that can learn from each other. So people who are quite different from each other, as long as they have a great affinity with textiles.
We're all kind of working in the same path with the same ambition of just creating beautiful work and interesting work and thought-provoking work.
I think at the beginning it was quite challenging, but afterwards I don't know how we can see different points in common.
When we met, we realized we were all kind of the same, different but the same, you know.
Pushes this automatically back to this line.
I love that we all have a different background and come from different countries, have different stories to tell, and from the character point of view, we all merge into each other quite nice.
I think it works really well, and I think also that a lot of the experiments we actually did or do are really overlapping. It's like a bit like cross-pollination, right?
Yeah. That means that if you pull the thread,
I think it opens your mind up when you work with other people, that you see the same thing from different perspectives. And I think you also learn to be more adaptable, because you're like, okay, I can let go of some part of me and then take this on and see how it transforms this collective work that we have. It really elevates the work.
If it's falling, well, how do you want it to fall? I'm a mentor here, and so I'm able to look with them and guide them through the projects they're working through.
Having Autobahn here, it's also something that has really, I think, helped us all to take our projects to the next level, because she has an interest in textile, she's been working with it, and she knows the right questions to ask you to move along with your project.
You can see, for example, that's nice. It's really nice. So, as you can see,
you really get to play around. It's like a playground. You get to try everything, and you're really encouraged to experiment.
Oh, it's like kind of like a dream place to be.
There's very high energy and there's a lot of things going on. And so everybody that works here are very adaptable, they're very open-minded.
Once the lab is open, it's even hard to get pulled away for lunch. You really want to be there, make use of every second.
It's a kind of bridge between the young artists, developers, the product developers, the thinking process, and to bind all this together as a way of bringing forward their ideas and the possibility of innovating and thinking together. And make later on a three-dimensional.
It was good to develop something like more intuitively, discover something in a new way than how you would do it normally.
can we make another color and make it more fluid? Or do you want to have a distortion in it?
It's incredible to work on these machines and the infrastructure, but also the working with the product developers and to be able to use their knowledge. It's really incredible how much experience they have.
Is it possible to... I work here for more than 40 years. I have a way of working, and if I see how the younger people are working and what their view is and how they like to do things, it's a learning process for me.
They learn how to work on industrial machines. So you see that, for example, preparing the files is something that a lot of ATPers don't really know yet. And here they really see, like, how do I need to prepare a file so that the machine can work with it.
It brings another layer to my work, that I can also feel that I can always continue exploring in another dimension. I almost feel like the pixel level is another dimension. You can be working on a very large idea, but you are looking at it in a pixel level. And that's how the program also works. So you're looking first into the thread to create a tapestry.
I really enjoy this kind of technical challenge. I really enjoy making files, sitting in front of the computer, kind of puzzling how these kind of layers work, or basically how can you construct cloth in different ways. Like this thing that was like in my mind and on paper has now become this fabric, and it's kind of like worked exactly as I wanted. And yeah, for me, I think it was like that moment where I was like, okay, I now have this confidence where I can like make these files and do these sort of technical drawings.
I think for me the most exciting was that I personally have in a way less control, right? If I'm tailoring, I'm doing that for 10 years. I know what I'm doing, and if I do an experiment, I kind of know what to expect. And here it's again like trying something and you don't know so much what will come out of it.
It's a different way of working than I've ever worked before.
It's so much faster. The development is much, much faster.
It has been intense, but productive.
The single jerseys almost...
I think when you come into this lab, what struck me was just everyone, for anything you say, they're like, okay, we can try it, or this is possible. Like even things like, you could stop the machine, put something in. This was something I was told is like, no, you should never do with the loom, but it's all possible here. And I think everyone just sees it as a very, very positive challenge.
It's all about finding the loopholes and ways of hacking the machine.
I think the best was for me learning from others. I think I've learned a lot, like how others think differently than me. It's also communication within one group, how to negotiate what you want and see also others' perspective.
I think here I've built this like kind of bank of knowledge and information that will probably stay with me for years to come.
I think the big thing that you take out is the network, that you find other people that have common interest or have common, maybe different interests, but a similar way of working. I think what is a big learning is how can you actually communicate your idea to other people that then have to develop it. From working always on your own and always also producing your own projects, you kind of don't need to translate your work to another person. But being here, I think you have to learn how you can communicate what you want to do.
I think that find many people who are really interested in textiles, I think makes me feel like as a part of a community, like a more international community.